The global economy is shifting, and the next wave of opportunity won't come from where you expect. While developed markets slow down, emerging nations are stepping into the spotlight. New industries are rising, digital adoption is exploding, and millions are entering the global middle class. The world's next economic giants are being built right now, quietly, steadily, and powerfully. So, if you're an investor looking beyond the obvious, this is your moment to pay attention. Because history shows, wealth follows growth, and growth is moving east and south. These aren't just countries on a map, they're tomorrow's financial powerhouses. Here are the top 5 emerging markets to watch in 2025, and why they could redefine the global economy. The truth is, the next financial revolution won't happen in the world's skyscraper capitals. It'll happen in the rising cities of the New World. This is where innovation meets ambition, where risk turns into reward, and where bold investors find their edge. Every great fortune begins with foresight, and right now, that foresight points to emerging markets. Because opportunity doesn't disappear, like it just changes its address. 1. India, the digital superpower in the making. India isn't just growing, like it's transforming. With over 1.4 billion people in a booming tech ecosystem, it's on track to become the world's 3rd largest economy. Digital payments, AI startups, and a young workforce are driving innovation at a pace the world hasn't seen before. Government reforms are boosting manufacturing and renewable energy, while global investors are pouring billions into Indian infrastructure. Unlike other nations, India's growth isn't driven by debt. It's powered by demand, demographics, and digitalization. Every sector, from fintech to EVs, is scaling exponentially. For investors, this means one thing: long-term opportunity backed by unstoppable fundamental. India isn't catching up to the world. The world is catching up to India. And in 2025, it's not just an emerging market, it's an emerging empire. With a massive youth population ready to lead and innovate, the country's human capital is its greatest strength. India's digital revolution has connected even the smallest towns to global commerce. The combination of tech growth, manufacturing power, and political stability creates a rare economic trifecta. For those with patience, India offers not just profits, but participation in history. 2. Vietnam, the manufacturing powerhouse of Asia. While China repositions its economy, Vietnam has quietly become the new heart of global manufacturing. Major brands, from Apple to Samsung, are shifting production here to diversify supply chains. Stable governance, rising wages, and trade-friendly policies make Vietnam one of Asia's fastest-growing economies. Its young, skilled population and booming exports have attracted billions in foreign investment. But the real story lies in transformation. Vietnam isn't just a factory nation anymore. It's building its tech, logistics, and green energy sectors from the ground up. For investors seeking the next China, Vietnam's growth trajectory is hard to ignore. Every crisis in global trade pushes Vietnam higher, and 2025 might be its breakout year. What makes Vietnam special is its balance: disciplined policy, adaptable workforce, and entrepreneurial culture. Its strategic location at the heart of Asia gives it an edge in both trade and innovation. The country's shift towards sustainability and digital infrastructure signals long-term potential. For investors ready to think global, Vietnam represents both stability and explosive growth. 3. Brazil, the green giant of the Americas. Brazil is no longer just about coffee and football. It's about renewable energy, agriculture, and digital finance. With abundant natural resources and one of the largest clean energy portfolios on Earth, Brazil is becoming a leader in the global sustainability movement. Its digital banking revolution, led by companies like Nubank, is redefining how millions manage money. Inflation control, interest rate cuts, and foreign investment flows are reigniting its economy. And as the world transitions to cleaner energy and sustainable food supply chains, Brazil's role becomes even more crucial. Yes, volatility remains, but with great risk comes greater reward. For investors, Brazil represents the perfect mix of resilience, resources, and reform. In 2025, the world won't just buy from Brazil, it will rely on it. The Amazon is no longer just a symbol of nature, it's becoming a driver of renewable opportunity. Digital innovation is creating millions of new customers across remote regions. Brazil's combination of resources and reform makes it the beating heart of South America's economic rise. For global investors, it's not just a comeback story, it's a reinvention story in motion. 4. Indonesia, the underdog with massive potential. The world's 4th most populous country is finally stepping into its economic spotlight. Indonesia's combination of natural wealth, digital expansion, And infrastructure reform makes it a sleeping giant. It's becoming the global hub for nickel, a key metal for electric vehicle batteries, attracting giants like Tesla. The government's focus on green energy, logistics, and digital finance is reshaping the country's economic future. With a median age under 30 and a thriving online economy, Indonesia's consumer power is just beginning. What makes it even more exciting? It's still undervalued compared to its potential. For long-term investors, this is what early growth looks like: raw, rising, and real. Indonesia might not make the loudest headlines, but it's building one of the strongest futures. As Southeast Asia's biggest economy, Indonesia is set to anchor regional growth. Its archipelago structure creates immense opportunities in logistics, tourism, and innovation. The shift towards sustainable energy and electric mobility puts Indonesia on the global stage. For investors who see beyond the noise, this market is pure potential waiting to be realized. 5. Nigeria, Africa's rising tech and energy hub. Africa's largest economy is rewriting its story, one startup and oil reform at a time. Nigeria is leading a digital revolution, with fintech companies like Flutterwave and Paystack transforming how Africa moves money. Its massive youth population and resource-rich landscape make it a future powerhouse for both innovation and energy. While challenges like inflation and governance remain, progress is undeniable. Foreign investment in tech, renewable energy, and infrastructure is surging. And as global investors look for growth beyond traditional markets, Africa, led by Nigeria, stands at the frontier. The key is timing and patience. Because early believers often reap the biggest rewards, Nigeria's story isn't about where it is, it's about where it's going, and it's going fast. Tech hubs like Lagos are becoming Africa's Silicon Valley, driving unprecedented startup activity. The country's focus on financial inclusion is empowering millions of new digital consumers. With untapped potential in energy and agriculture, Nigeria is positioning itself for exponential expansion. In 2025, Africa's growth story begins here, and Nigeria is writing the first chapter. Global insight: why these markets matter now. Emerging markets aren't just about high risk, they're about high resilience. They grow where innovation meets necessity, where ambition beats limitation. In a world where developed economies face stagnation, these nations represent energy, youth, and hunger for progress. Diversifying into emerging markets isn't just smart, it's strategic. You're not betting on one country, you're investing in human potential on a global scale. These markets move fast, fall hard, and rise higher, but they reward those who stay patient and informed. The next decade of wealth creation won't come from Wall Street. It'll come from where growth still breathes, and the investors who understand that now will be ahead of the curve tomorrow. Because global wealth is no longer a Western story, it's becoming a shared one. The next financial leaders will come from cities most investors can't yet pronounce. Those who diversify early will own a stake in the world's transformation, not just its headlines. This is how financial empires are built, quietly, globally, and with vision. The future of investing is global, and it's already unfolding. The smartest move isn't chasing trends, it's positioning yourself where the world is heading. Because in 2025, opportunity won't knock softly. It'll roar from emerging markets across continents. So study these economies, diversify wisely, and think long-term. Because those who invest in growth before it becomes mainstream are the ones who build generational wealth. If this video gave you perspective or inspiration, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone planning their next big investment move. Remember, wealth doesn't just grow in familiar places. It grows where courage meets curiosity. And the next era of fortune belongs to those brave enough to invest beyond borders. Because true investors see what others overlook and act before the world catches on. The next boom won't come with warning lights. It'll come with data, direction, and discipline. So be early, be informed, and be bold. Because fortune always favors the prepared. And in this new global age, your next big win could come from halfway across the world.